our shadows recede. And now, the multiverse shall behold its true sovereign.
A single whisper changed everything. The X-Men are not gone. They were just waiting. The moment fans have been asking for is finally starting to take shape. For years, the world of the X-Men felt separate, like a powerful story locked behind a door that never opened. But now, that door is slowly moving. And behind it is something much bigger than just a comeback. It is a shift that could change the entire future of the Marvel Universe. When people hear the title Avengers Doomsday, they think of destruction, chaos, and a battle bigger than anything before. But what many don't realize is that this movie may not just be about ending something, it could also be about beginning something new. And that beginning is the return of mutants. For a long time, fans wondered why mutants were missing from the main story. The Avengers were fighting world-ending threats, traveling through time, and even dealing with the multiverse. Yet there was no sign of the X-Men. It felt strange, almost like a big piece of the puzzle was missing. But now, it looks like this was not a mistake. It was a plan. Marvel Studios has been building something step by step, slowly preparing the ground for a massive reveal. And now, with the timeline moving toward December 18th, 2026, everything is starting to connect. The release date is not just another day on the calendar. It is being treated like a turning point, a moment where stories collide and new heroes rise. When Avengers Doomsday hits theaters, it will carry the weight of years of buildup. Every hint, every small detail, every strange event in recent Marvel projects could lead to this one point. And if the X-Men are part of this story, then the scale of the movie becomes something we have never seen before. There are already signs pointing in this direction. Small clues, hidden details, and moments that seem simple at first but feel important later. Marvel has always used this style, planting seeds early and letting them grow over time. This time, the seeds are leading to mutants, and not just any mutants, but the possibility of a full team entering the story at once. Imagine a world where the Avengers are no longer the only protectors. A world where people with powers are not just heroes, but are also feared. That is the kind of change the X-Men bring. This shift also means the story will feel different. The X-Men are not just about fighting villains. Their story is about being different, being rejected, and still choosing to stand strong. Bringing that into the MCU adds a deeper layer. It makes the story more human, more emotional, and more real. And when this mixes with the high-stakes action of Avengers Doomsday, it creates something powerful, something that is not just about saving the world, but about understanding it. As we move closer to the release date, one thing is clear. This is not just another Marvel movie announcement. This is the start of a new chapter. A chapter where old limits are broken and new stories take over. The return of the X-Men is not just exciting, it is necessary for the next stage of the MCU. And if this is truly where things are heading, then December 18th, 2026 will not just be remembered as a release date. It will be remembered as the day everything changed. Now everything starts to connect in a way that feels bigger than just a simple movie story. The world of the Avengers. Doomsday is not being built as a normal superhero battle. It feels like a turning point where different worlds, timelines, and realities are slowly crashing into each other. And at the center of all this chaos, one name keeps coming up in discussions, theories, and hidden clues: Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is not just another villain who wants power. He represents control, intelligence, and a dangerous level of belief that he alone can fix broken realities. In many stories from the comics, he is someone who does not just fight heroes, he reshapes the world itself. That is why his connection to this upcoming film is so important. If he truly becomes the central force in Avengers Doomsday, then this is not just a battle between good and evil. It becomes a fight over reality itself. What makes things even more interesting is how the idea of the multiverse is being used. The multiverse is not just a background idea anymore. It is becoming the main stage where everything is happening. Different timelines, different versions of characters, and different realities are no longer separate. They are starting to collide. And this is exactly the kind of situation where mutants can finally enter the story in a natural way. Instead of being forced into the world, the X-Men can appear as a result of broken timelines and merging worlds. Many fans believe that Marvel Studios has been carefully preparing this moment. The slow introduction of multiverse stories was not random. Marvel Studios has been planting small ideas across different projects, building towards something much larger. Each film and series added a small piece, even if it didn't seem connected at first. Now, all those pieces are starting to form a clear picture. And that picture shows a universe where multiple realities are no longer stable. In this kind of unstable world, Doctor Doom becomes even more dangerous. He is the type of character who does not see chaos as a problem. He sees it as an opportunity. If worlds are breaking apart, he does not try to stop it in a normal way. Instead, he tries to control what comes out of it. This is where the idea of mutants entering the MCU becomes very powerful. They are not just added into the story. They could be survivors of another reality or beings that were hidden until the multiverse broke open. This also changes how we understand the meaning of the story in Avengers Doomsday. It is no longer just about the Avengers trying to save their world. It becomes about multiple groups of heroes trying to survive a collapsing system. The Avengers, the mutants, and possibly other unknown teams could all be forced into the same conflict. And in that kind of situation, trust becomes very important. Heroes who never met before may have to fight together or face destruction alone. Dr. Doom's role in all of this could also explain why everything feels so unpredictable. Unlike other villains, he is not limited by simple goals like revenge or destruction. His thinking is deeper. He believes he can build a better world, even if it means destroying the current one. That kind of mindset makes him extremely dangerous in a multiverse setting, where every decision can affect countless realities at once. As the story moves forward, the connection between Doom, the multiverse, and the return of the X-Men becomes clearer. It is possible that mutants are not just returning. They are being pulled into this reality because of something Doom does or triggers. That means their arrival is not just important for fans, but essential to the story itself. All of this builds toward one clear idea. The upcoming events in Avengers Doomsday are not random. They are carefully structured pieces of a much larger plan. A plan where reality breaks, heroes unite, and new forces like the X-Men finally step into the main world. And if Dr. Doom is truly at the center of this storm, then the battle ahead will not just decide who wins or loses. It will decide what reality even looks like after the dust settles. This is where everything becomes bigger than just one team, one movie, or even one universe. The arrival of the X-Men into the main Marvel story is not just a small upgrade to the world. It is a complete shift in how the entire story works. For years, the Marvel Universe has focused on heroes like the Avengers facing global or cosmic threats. But now, with the events building toward Avengers Doomsday, the scale is moving into something far more unstable, where reality itself feels like it is breaking apart. When mutants finally enter this world, they will not just appear as new characters. They will change the balance of everything. The reason is simple. Mutants bring a different kind of story. Their existence is often tied to fear, control, and misunderstanding. In many stories, people do not accept them easily. So if they enter the MCU during a time of chaos, it creates a very powerful emotional layer. Heroes are no longer just fighting villains. They are also dealing with fear from the world around them. This is where the storytelling becomes deeper. Marvel Studios is not just adding characters for excitement. If done right, this move brings emotional weight into the entire universe. Imagine a world already struggling with collapsing realities, and then adding a group of powerful beings who are not fully trusted by society. That combination creates tension not just in battles, but in every interaction between characters. The potential crossover between the Avengers and the X-Men is one of the most exciting ideas fans have talked about for years. These are two completely different styles of heroes. The Avengers are known for teamwork, global defense, and organized missions. The X-Men are often more personal, emotional, and focused on identity and survival. When these two worlds finally meet, it is not just about fighting side by side, it is about learning to understand each other. This is also why the timing of Avengers Doomsday is so important. A story like this cannot happen in a normal phase of the MCU. It needs a moment where everything is already unstable. A moment where universes are breaking, timelines are merging, and nothing feels fully under control. That kind of setting makes the arrival of mutants feel natural instead of forced. Another major impact is how new characters will reshape future stories. The introduction of mutants means the MCU will no longer be limited to what we have seen before. Characters like Wolverine, Professor X, and Magneto are not just popular names. They represent different ideologies, conflicts, and moral choices. Their presence will create new types of stories that go beyond traditional superhero battles. At the same time, the emotional side of the MCU will grow stronger. Mutants often deal with questions like, "Who am I?" and "Where do I belong?" These are deeply human questions. When they are placed inside a world already dealing with multiversal chaos, it adds another layer of meaning. Heroes are no longer only saving the world from destruction, they are also trying to find their place in it. In the middle of all this, the Avengers will also be forced to evolve. They cannot remain the same team they were before. With the multiverse collapsing and new forces entering the picture, they will have to adapt. That means new alliances, new strategies, and possibly even conflicts between heroes who do not agree on how to handle the situation. This kind of tension makes the story more realistic and more engaging. The arrival of the X-Men also opens the door for long-term storytelling. This is not just about one movie moment. It is about setting up years of future stories where mutants become a core part of the MCU. Their integration will likely affect future phases, new teams, and even how Marvel builds its universe moving forward. As everything builds toward the release of Avengers Doomsday, one thing becomes clear. This is not just another crossover event. It is the foundation of a new era, an era where heroes are not just defined by their powers, but by their differences, their struggles, and their ability to stand together in a world that is constantly changing. As the noise around the return of the X-Men keeps growing, one thing is clear. This is not just excitement, it is expectation building across the world. Fans are not only waiting for action scenes or big battles, they are waiting for something deeper, something that changes the future of storytelling inside Marvel Studios. And with Avengers Doomsday set to arrive on December 18, 2026, the pressure and hype are reaching a new level. Across social media, forums, and fan discussions, theories are spreading fast. People are trying to connect every small detail from past Marvel projects to this upcoming event. Some believe the X-Men have already been secretly hinted at for years. Others think their arrival will completely reset the MCU timeline. While nothing is officially confirmed in full detail, the excitement itself shows how powerful this idea has become in the minds of fans. One of the biggest reasons for this hype is simple. The X-Men are not new characters. They are already legendary in comic history and previous films outside the MCU. So their entry into the main Marvel universe is not just another introduction. It feels like a reunion of something fans have been waiting for a long time. This creates a strong emotional reaction, especially for those who grew up watching earlier versions of these characters. But expectations also bring pressure. Fans are not just hoping for the X-Men to appear. They want them to appear in the right way. Many are asking for a version that feels connected to the current MCU tone, but still respects the original spirit of the mutants. This is not easy, because it requires balancing action, emotion, and character depth all at the same time. Another major expectation is how these heroes will interact with the Avengers. People are imagining huge crossover moments where different teams finally share the screen. But at the same time, there is also curiosity about conflict. Not every hero will agree on how to handle the multiverse crisis. That disagreement can lead to tension, and that tension can make the story even more interesting. Of course, there are also concerns. Some fans worry that too many characters could make the story feel crowded. Others fear that important emotional moments might get lost in large-scale action. These are valid concerns, especially for a movie as big as Avengers Doomsday. Managing a story with Avengers, mutants, multiverse events, and possibly more forces is a huge challenge even for a studio like Marvel Studios. But at the same time, this challenge is also what makes the project exciting. If done right, it could become one of the most memorable moments in superhero cinema. Fans are hoping for a balance where character emotions matter just as much as world-ending events. A story where heroes are not just fighting, but also questioning their place in a collapsing reality. The return of the X-Men also brings hope for a new creative direction. Many viewers feel that Marvel needs a fresh wave of storytelling energy. Introducing mutants into the MCU could provide exactly that. New conflicts, new relationships, and new moral choices can open doors for stories that feel different from what we have already seen. As the release date gets closer, expectations will only grow stronger. Every teaser, every announcement, and every small hint will be analyzed in detail by fans around the world. And that is what makes this moment so powerful. It is not just about one movie anymore. It is about the future direction of an entire universe. In the end, the biggest question is not whether the X-Men will return. The real question is how their return will change everything that comes after. Because if Avengers Doomsday truly delivers on what it is building toward, then the MCU will never feel the same again.